All right, I'm going to walk you through a couple of them before I start having you tell me what you think gets debited and credited. All right, April 1st, so we're going to write the date, and we can abbreviate April, APR. The day of the month goes in the smaller column. Can you see up there? Do I need to zoom in a little bit? Whoops, sorry. And then on the first page, you need to put the year, real small, right above April. Now that only needs to occur, you only need to put the month on the first line of the page. The month and year only need to go on the first line of the page. You do need to put the day of the month on every entry, but the month and the year only need to go on the first line of the page. All right, received cash from the owner as an investment. So I have to ask myself, what are the two accounts? All right, in the past we would have said cash and Norm Derner Capital. But I have to ask myself, which of those two gets debited? Which of those two is going to get debited here? Cash. So we'll write cash in this first line, and it needs to come all the way over against this left margin. Then we'll come over here and put our document number in. It's R1, meaning receipt number 1. We do not put anything in the post reference column at this point in time. You haven't learned how to do that yet. We'll deal with that in the next chapter. And then the amount of the debit. Now here's what throws students. I mean, I just do it because I've done it for so long. But a lot of students get thrown by these columns. Basically, this is your ones digit, tens, hundreds, and anything in the thousands. If it's 10,000, 175,000, you got to cram all of that in there. So some students find that initially it's easier for them to work backwards. 0, 0, 5, 1. And then for the change, I don't put double zeros. I find that it can make it confusing. If it's double zeros, I put a dash in the cents column. So this is your cents column, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Okay? And for me, if it's a double zero in the cents column, I just put a dash. Yes? I didn't intend to do that. It's just how I happen to do it. No intention to that, no reason for it. Okay, then we drop to the next line and we indent in just a little bit. Okay, for the credit account, we indent in just a little bit. And we indicated that that would be Norm Derner Capital. We do not have to duplicate the source document here. In fact, do not duplicate the source document. This was a credit to his account, so I need to come over to the credit column and put in the amount. So it's the same process. You identify the two accounts, you debit and credit them, but this time we're writing them in on lines, and we do the debit first every time. Second transaction. Now here I do not have to put April in 2013 again. I only need to put the date. The day. Paid cash for supplies. And once again I have to ask myself, what are the two accounts? Paid cash for supplies. Okay, cash and supplies. Which one's getting debited here? Supplies. So we're going to put that on the first line. Now we come over here to our document number column, and at the end of the line there it tells you C1. That means check number 1. So at the end of every line, whoops, let me get this up here, they'll tell you your document number. Okay, C1, and the amount was $375. And then the credit part of that was to what? Paid cash was cash. Okay? So we'll write cash in, and in the credit column, $375. Not too bad, is it? Let's go to page 67. Continuing with more transactions. And they've been kind to you there. They give you the accounts again. On the 5th, bought supplies on account from Palm Supply, $500, M1. M1 means it was a memorandum 1. Bought supplies on account from Palm Supply. The date is the 5th. I'll go ahead and write that in. Now, what are the two accounts here? Bought supplies on account. Supplies. And accounts payable, be specific, Palm Supply. Which one of those is getting debited? Supplies. Okay? So on the first line, we record supplies. And it tells us M1 is our source document. And the amount of that, the cost of those supplies to us was $500. And then we drop to the second line, indent a little bit, and put the name of our credited account, accounts payable, Palm Supply, and duplicate the amount, this time in the credit column. On the 7th, paid cash for insurance, $300. Check 2 is our source document. I'm going to go ahead and write the date in, the 7th. What are the two accounts? Paid cash for insurance. Cash and prepaid insurance. Which of those two is getting debited? Prepaid insurance. Okay, so we're going to put it on the first line, all the way over at the margin. I have some students, or I have had students in the past, who it just seems impossible for them to follow this pattern of the debited account at the margin and the credited account indented sum. It's like their lines are all over the place. Do your best to keep debited account up against this line, credited account indented a little bit. Okay, so prepaid insurance is getting debited. Our source document is check 2, and these documents need to be in numerical order. There shouldn't be an R1 and then the next one be R7. I should see R1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If there's a jump, there needs to be an explanation why. That would raise red flags to any auditor in a heartbeat. Where's the rest of these receipts? Checks shouldn't be a jump between check 1 and check 8. The auditor is going to ask, where's checks 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7? Okay, so these are going to appear in numerical order. And the amount of that was $300. That's the debited account. The credited account was cash, so I indent and write the account name cash, and I go to the credit column and fill in my $300. On the 9th, so I'm going to put my date in. Paid cash on account of Palm Supply, $250. Check 3 was written. What are my two accounts? Cash and accounts payable Palm Supply. Which one got debited? Accounts payable. So we're going to write that in on the first line, all the way over at the margin. Accounts payable, Palm Supply. Check number 3 is my source document. The amount is $250. And then my second account is the credited account cash. So I indent a little bit. I write in cash and the amount $250.